Sometimes the feeling shows up right after the moment has already passed. You're standing in the kitchen, phone in your hand, staring at the message you just sent. It was normal. Friendly. Nothing sharp. But your stomach tightens anyway. Did I explain too much? Did that sound strange? Did I cross a line? Why does it feel like I said too much, even when nothing actually went wrong? This is a common experience, and it has a name, even if most people never say it out loud. It's that quiet wave of self-questioning that comes after you speak honestly, share a thought, or let yourself be seen for a second. In this video, we're going to slow it down and look at why that feeling shows up, and what it's really responding to. At its core, this feeling is a pattern where your mind replays what you said, not because it was wrong, but because being open briefly made you feel exposed. One common reason is growing up in spaces where expression was closely watched. It doesn't always look like criticism. Sometimes it's subtle pauses, raised eyebrows, or someone regularly telling you that you're a bit much or too sensitive. Over time, your mind learns that sharing freely can lead to discomfort, even if no one ever says it directly. So later in life, when you speak from the heart, your body reacts first, long before logic steps in. That's why a simple comment can echo in your head hours later, even though no one reacted badly at all. Sometimes, it comes from moments where openness once backfired. Maybe you shared something personal at the wrong time. Maybe you trusted someone who didn't handle it gently. Even if it happened only once, your mind may keep that memory nearby as a warning. The feeling that you said too much isn't about the present moment as much as it's about protecting you from repeating an old sting. So after you open up now, your thoughts rush in to check the damage, even if the situation is completely different. There's also a quieter reason that sits underneath this feeling. For a lot of people, it shows up when they're already stretched thin. When you're tired, busy, or emotionally full, your tolerance for uncertainty drops. Speaking freely creates a brief gap where you don't know how the other person fully received you yet. And when your energy is low, that gap feels bigger and heavier. So your mind fills it with questions, not because you overshared, but because you don't have extra space to sit with not knowing. Here's what this can look like in real life. It's late, maybe around 10:30 at night. You're on the couch, lights low, phone glowing a little too bright. Earlier today, you told someone how you really felt. Not dramatically. Just honestly. You didn't ask for reassurance. You didn't make it heavy. Now you're rereading the conversation. Again. You notice every sentence. The length. The tone. You wonder if you talked too long, if you revealed more than you meant to, if you should have kept it lighter. Your chest feels slightly tight, like you left a door open that maybe should have stayed closed. If you've been there, you're not strange. You might know someone who lives like this. This is what that I said too much feeling looks like when it's quiet. It's not regret. It's vulnerability meeting uncertainty, with no immediate feedback to settle it. What often gets missed is that this feeling isn't actually asking you to take your words back. It's asking for safety. One gentle way to work with this moment is to slow the replay down. Instead of scanning everything you said, pick one sentence and ask yourself a simple question. Was this true for me when I said it? Not was it perfect? Not was it impressive? Just true. When you answer honestly, you give your mind something solid to hold on to. The feeling may still be there, but it often softens when truth is acknowledged instead of debated. Another quiet shift can help too. After you notice that wave of too much, try naming what just happened without turning it into a story. Something like, I shared honestly, and now I feel exposed. That's all. No analysis. No judgment. This works because it separates the feeling from a conclusion about who you are. You're not someone who talks too much. You're someone who allowed themselves to be real for a moment, and your nervous system is catching up. But there's one more detail here that changes how this whole thing looks. Feeling like you said too much often shows up in people who actually listen carefully. People who pay attention to tone. People who care about how they land with others. It's not a lack of awareness. It's often an excessive consideration. This is for people who look composed on the outside, but quietly replay interactions once they're alone. It doesn't mean you crossed a line. Sometimes it just means you stepped slightly outside your usual guard. And that can feel unfamiliar, even when it's healthy. If this felt familiar, you're welcome to stay here. We take these moments slowly, one quiet reason at a time.